Welcome back to Drop Frames. Going to the second half here. Zeke, let's start off with some Death's Door. I've heard a lot of buzz about this on the old twatters over the past 2 weeks or so. Is it worth it? How do you feel about it? What is Death's Door?
Death's Door is a Zelda-like action game with there's like a central overworld area, and then you enter like a dungeon, just like you would with Zelda.
Okay.
The what you're seeing right now is one of the first dungeons. It's the the manor, the witch's manor is what it's called, and there are four, I want to say four different dungeons you go into. It's not a terribly long game, I would say. Took me, oh shit, right, I leave it on. I was looking at my hours. It's like 32. It's like, nope, you left it on overnight, or left it on when you're watching a show or something. So my Steam hours are not indicative of how long it took, but it was one of those rare games that I 100%ed. I got all the achievements. I had to do two runs. The first run, organically, blind, whatever. Second run, I had to go. You go through it with like the worst weapon in the game or whatever, and you have to finish the game. But it has a lot of really cool shit going for it. The environment is really cool. Changes quite a bit from the witch's manor to the frog layer to this to that. So the color scheme changes up quite a bit. If you're in the you go back to the the office of the death. You're a crow. You play a crow, and you are responsible for taking souls to Death's Door, and transporting them from their bodies or whatever to the other side.
Mm.
And the whole premise of the game starts that you have lost a soul, a big soul, and you're looking for it. And the hub of the place you always return to, where you upgrade your skills and all that kind of stuff, is all in black and white. It's where all the crows live, and it's set up like they sit at desks, and there's they type, and there's like it's like the like kind of like Loki. Like there's a place where everybody works out of, and then goes to the overworld to find the souls.
Right.
It's like low what?
Loki. It's a Marvel thing. The giant franchise that you haven't watched before.
I thought you said low key.
They should actually make an Eastern European radiation infused hero, and that's how we'll get involved. Call him Radiation Man.
Just call him the Stalker. It writes
the Stalker.
itself.
There you go. Let's call him the Stalker. Yeah.
I'm in.
That's how we get Co on board into the MCU world.
On board.
Made in the Chernobyl reactor in 1980.
It's great. He sounds cool. I'm into it.
Oh, that's what Black Widow is?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. You should watch Black Widow. Or maybe don't. That's fine too.
The fact that you're a bird only plays in as far as like story elements go. You quickly forget that you're a bird when it comes to like playing the game and gameplay and stuff. You don't like fly or anything like that. It's just like you wield a weapon. You have sub weapons like that you collect throughout. The first one you get is the bow. So it plays a lot like Zelda. There's an upgrade system. All the pink things that you see flying into me, those are basically the currency. The difficulty of the game is accessible. I'll say that. It's challenging, but it never felt like I had to beat my head against an area or a boss for too long until I beat it. If you play this game, be prepared for people to say that Baru played it all in one sitting and beat it. because
Okay.
he did, I guess.
Sure.
And but there is one cool thing that I really liked about it was after the credits, there is more game. That's all I'm gonna say. Like after the credits, there's a good chunk of game left to do if you choose to. You don't have to, but it's cool enough and it gives you more shit to explore, more stuff to discover. There's also lots of secrets to find throughout the game. So be looking for places to, come back to. Like you'll see a web and you'll go, oh shit, I know how to deal with those. I know how to, or you'll see a place in the web, get something, and you go, oh, I remember that place in the web. I got to go back to there, just like Zelda. Like you see, like the doorway with the cracks in it. You're like, bombs. Once I get bombs, I'm coming back there. There's quite a bit of that. Quite a bit of going back and going, okay, now I can open this place because I have a thing. It's like I said, it's not terribly long, but the tone of it, the music, it all very harmonically fits together. It doesn't feel like anything in the game is wasn't put there on purpose, wasn't thought out, wasn't meticulously matched to what was going on. I will say I wish there was more of it. I do wish there was more of the game. Because like if there was, I might not 100% it.
True.
It takes a very certain special like length and challenge lowering for me to actually get a game and do all the achievements. But that was my only complaint about the game was that it was I just wanted more of it, which is probably good.
Cool.
But yeah, fucking wonderful game. One of the better games I played this year. For sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
$20. It's on Xbox One, S, and X, as well as PC. I guess no PS4 or PS5 version of this yet. And it is not on Game Pass, which is kind of surprising. I wonder what happened there. Maybe it's going to come later. Who knows?
Not know.
Yeah.
Oh,
You didn't pay him enough. That's what happened.
Yeah, maybe Devolver wanted more money or something. Who knows?
and if you're wondering if this looks familiar or you've seen like similar, this is the same team who did Titan Souls.
Right. It's two people, right?
Acid Nerve. I'm not sure
Okay.
if how many people made the game, but
Yeah. I think that's what chat was saying. Cool. What is this, the PC version, by the way, that you're playing here?
yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm playing it on Steam and with a controller, and it feels. I mean, Zelda feels comfortable with the controller.
Yeah, no issues or anything, gameplay, performance-wise?
Nothing.
I assume not. Okay. Cool.
0.
That is that. Co, you've been
Oh,
jumping
just
into...
real quick.
Sure.
Sorry, just real quick before we something that I failed to mention. The story of the game is engaging and it's not too much. It doesn't try to over extend itself as far as like going into lore and stuff. It just gives you nice little chunks as you go along. There's some cool like humorous parts. I'll just say the cook, the person who like the person who gives you like you find him and he gives you soup. That's pretty goddamn funny. But the way it wraps up and the way it like plays out and then wraps up is very concise and very well done, beginning, middle, end. I wasn't left like disappointed.
Cool. Cool. Let's talk a little bit about the Forgotten City. Is this a new game or have we talked about this game before?
We have talked about this game. This game is a new game based on the mod for like Oblivion or Skyrim.
That's okay. So I watched
Yeah.
the trailer for this and great. Okay. I know what this game is now. Thank you for reminding me. Why don't you tell everyone else, Co, what this game is?
Forgotten City is basically, I don't want to talk about it too much because it's very easy to spoil the game and I don't want to, but the TLDR is the Forgotten City is an adventure game where you are quickly sucked into an environment where you are not super comfortable and you're not really sure what's going on, and you need to figure out not only the structure of that environment, but how you are going to deal with it. And the process is basically, it's fully voice acted. There's a lot of great voice acting. It is an exploration game at heart, a dialogue game where you're figuring out how and what to say to people, how to talk to people and what to say to them. And at the same time, you're kind of unraveling this sequence of mysteries that are all kind of running in parallel into what this world is, how it functions, like who the players are in it, and what's going on, essentially.
Short and sweet.
I touched on this. I played it like for, I want to say like an hour and change. Let me see here. There we go. Yeah, 89 minutes. So I played it for like an hour and a half. And I have to know, that entire hour and a half was just talking. Is it which it's good, don't get me wrong, it's good dialogue and all that shit, but like I didn't, like an hour and a half, I didn't get to
the way that it works, there's a handful, maybe more than a handful, there's a limited number of players, and those players all play important roles. And once you're kind of introduced and talk to them all for the first time, it becomes a lot more gameplay oriented.
Okay.
So there is kind of like, I don't want to call it a barrier, but there's a hill you get over in meeting everyone for the first time, hearing their story, figuring out what they are and what they do. And then once you kind of get that established, it becomes much more about, okay, what are the events that are happening? How do I interact with the events? There was, for instance, like a stretch of 30, 45 minutes today in the session. I didn't talk to anybody. It was just me like exploring and running around and doing things. So the first part, there's a lot of talking as you meet people. However, you don't need to do all of that at the beginning. You can, this is a game you can kind of take at your own pace. There is not necessarily a right or wrong way to do it. And there are deep set mechanics in the game, which means that you really can do what you want when you want to do. So it is, if you've talked to a few people and you want to do something else, go do something else. Like there's no reason, there's no rush or timing situation where you can't just do other things, then come back and do other stuff later.
Cool. No, I when I booted it up and I played like the hour and a half that I did, it like sucked me right in as far as the environment and the mystery of it. Like what the, you're left, you start with what the fuck's going on, kind of a feeling, and that unravels, it seems like, throughout, like the more you talk to people. And I was just wondering, like, because I said, like, all right, we've talked to people for like an hour and change, let's go try and get into a fight. And I couldn't find one. I was like, maybe there's no fights, maybe it's all just like exploration, talking, and puzzles. I didn't get to any puzzles either. It says puzzles in the description of the game, like in the blurb, but I didn't get to any of those either. So it was just, and I don't mind games that are just talking, but someone told me it was a Skyrim mod, so I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. That means I'll get a sword, some magic, maybe some sneaking or something. Like,
yeah, I don't think the trailer did a decent job of showing that like none of that really exists, as far as I can tell, in the game. But I will say, if you want the like their like hook, so to speak, into the story of the game, the trailer does a pretty good job of showing you what that is without showing you like too much. It's enough to like be able to say like, oh, I think I'll like that, or oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like that type deal. But it is a lot of talking from the trailer, and it sounds like it's a lot of talking in general.
The two words, without going into it too much, are I believe the technical term is timey-wimey.
Yeah. I'd agree with that, having just watched the trailer. Are you done with it? Do you know how long it is? Do you know anything around that?
Slightly spoilery, but I think this is okay. I got an ending today. I got a finality. Okay. And there are different finalities. And I have enjoyed and liked my experience enough in this game to where tomorrow I am planning on firing it back up and exploring other finalities.
Okay.
Cool.
I have about 7-ish hours in it so far. And I have really been enjoying it. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. Yeah. That is unless a gentleman dropped in my chat a little bit ago and just let me know my stream is done, and not just on Twitch. So if I am able to stream tomorrow, then I will do that. But
okay, all right. Let us know how that goes. Let us know how that goes. We talked about this game with Strippin when he was on, and I think it was enough to sell Zeke on it after I think his chat hounded him as well into playing this. Zeke, how'd you like Wildermyth? Is it a good one? Did you get past the art style? How do you feel?
Okay. Wildermyth.
Oh God, I don't know if that's good or bad.
You had to prepare for
Yeah,
it.
that was a prep. That was a. All right. Okay. All right. What do you talk to me, Zeke?
It's a very well put together game. Meaning it's the gameplay works and everything's fine. Everything's in the right place. The aesthetic, like I've said before, is not something that I'm usually into, and still not. I
didn't win him over.
Like, I want to like it. I do, but I thought about going back to it. Like after that stream, I thought about going back to it in my off time, and I just couldn't find. Like I didn't like have the will to, or want to do it. It's a grid-based, paper cutout like game board,
right?
With turn-based combat and all that kind of stuff, but it just didn't have like maybe it was the story. Like it didn't have enough of a pull, I guess, for me to because I don't even remember what it's about. I'll be honest with you, like I don't know like what the story is. I do remember like the mechanics of the game were very fun. There was a cool mechanic that instead of like magic spells like fireball, lightning bolt, that kind of stuff, the magic users use pieces of their environment to cast a spell. So they have to be within visual range or like sight. They have to be able to see it. They have to be in range to use it. So like you can what's the term for it, guys? Chat. You like meld with a rock or a chair or a infuse. Thank you. That's the word. You infuse with these things, bookcase and stuff like that. And they have different abilities that you can use. Like if you infuse with something that's wooden, a lot of times you can make it explode in like a splinter AoE thing, like an explosion. So if an enemy's close to that, that's what you can do. If you infuse with a rock, you can either have it throw like rock pellets at the enemy, or you can have it like if you specialize in a certain class, you can have it put armor on you or a friend, stuff like that. And it gets deeper and deeper as you go, like more and more abilities arise. It's a difficult game. There's a lot of challenge to it because there's a lot of RNG elements. You will get sometimes you'll just get like boned on rolls or on percentages, just like XCOM, you know.
Right.
Or like random events that will happen to you while you're playing will just suck, just totally suck, and like really like put a damper on like, oh man, I felt powerful. Now I really don't anymore, you know, like that kind of shit.
How was the narrative stuff? Because I think that's the hook that everyone is super about.
Though that's the thing. I don't.
Let me guess. Oh. Well, you don't remember like because everyone talks about how the choices and everything like that are long lasting and impact your character. But I could in playing D&D, I would feel like you would feel constricted in their choices, and you would want to just make your own. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Okay. That is okay. That is pretty cool. No,
all right, Joe Pesci, calm down.
That's not narrative, though.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Hold on now. Hold on. Okay.
Can I put the siren? Can I do the siren? Okay. Whatever you want, Leo gets. That is a pretty decent mechanic. That your choices like follow you. Like the whole idea of the game is that you can go to retirement age. You can live to a certain age and then your character retires from adventuring and stuff like that. And if you beat a level, it says you have, 8 years of peace, meaning that all your characters age 8 years. And in that time, they like events happen to them. Like in that 8 years, this happened, had a child, got married, lost a hand or whatever.
Mhm.
That shit is pretty cool, and it persists throughout.
It's okay to say you didn't like the game. I just want you to know that you can.
I like
You don't
the
have to
game.
like games. Okay.
I just didn't like it's like I like the game. I just didn't like the table. I guess that I was playing the game on. I don't know how to say it. Like if this, if it was, I don't know, more towards like Dungeons and Dragons, Darkest Dungeon maybe. Like it's too colorful and flowery, and I don't know.
It's too much
I don't know,
Nintendo.
man. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, too much Nintendo, not enough PlayStation.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Do you remember what just so we give the people the full information? What does this game run? Do you know off the top of your head? $20, something like that?
I do indeed. It is $24.99. And with the replayability, if you like it, with the replayability, I would say it's absolutely worth it. There's nothing wrong with this game unless you don't like the look of it.
There you go. Okay. What is HighFleet? I see some VODs for this.
Oh, dude. Okay. HighFleet.
Oh, I know. Man, I watch all these trailers and you guys play the games. This is great.
Okay. Cool. So HighFleet is awesome. HighFleet is a huge combination of a ton of different things. So at its heart, it's like a Dune style desert world where you are playing you are playing a person in a military, and you are leading a contingent. It is a top down tactics type of game. You can see here the little dot is you, and you're moving around the map. You're having to manage your fuel, radar, IR systems, all sorts of different things. You're receiving radio transmissions and intercepting them and coding them, and all sorts of different things. On top of that, it is a creative shipbuilding game where you are given, like, literally from the looks of it, eventually like 50-ish, maybe more different ship parts, and you can then build your actual ship. And then this is the actual action part of it.
This is what
you are fighting around using all the different things that you have built to then like do these crazy battles where there's like multiple ships, multiple weapon types. You're launching flares, you're launching counter missiles, you're launching your own missiles. On top of all of this, you're moving around the map in an FTL style game. So, you go to the different locations and there's like random events that can happen. There's different types of locations that give you different things. There's a main arcing kind of story backbone that's leading you through this big campaign that's going on. Every ship is completely modular. So you're taking like, different damage in different places you have to repair and deal with, and it may alter how your ship works or flies or things like that. There's a landing mini game. There's a missile defense mini game there. I mean, it is so unique, and there is so much to it. It is really, really cool. I'm actually restarting my run tonight, just because I've learned so much in my first run. This is the scavenging little mini game. So that's something we're not going to deal with right now. This is a little scavenging mini game where whenever you are done with a battle, dude, I have like 5 contractors coming over today. And this little scavenging mini game, you have like different things are happening at different times, and you have to prioritize like where your crew is going to go to get different things done. Like some things require protection, so do you spend time putting protection on, or do you risk sending them in unprotected? Do you want to go get the documents from the headquarters? Do you want to invade, or from the head of the ship? Do you want to rescue survivors? Do you want to get their fuel? Do you want to get their weapons? Do you want to go try to get into the radio room and get code stuff that may help you get different messages later? I mean, it is so wildly unique, and it has been a huge amount of fun so far.
$30. Is it worth it? You said you finished
I don't. What? No, I did not finish it.
Oh, you said you started your run.
I'm restarting my run.
Oh, restarting your run. Okay.
Yes, I have not. I don't think I've gotten anywhere near the end of this game. I barely scratched the surface. I'm still learning the game after like about 3-ish hours. Do I think the game is worth it? I think it absolutely could be, but until I get the actual time into it, I am not sure. I never establish value to a game until I've kind of like done all the stuff. So this is kind of cool. I'm that awesome big ass ship in the bottom, and that thing has like tons of cannons and guns and anti-air and all sorts of stuff. And these other ships are kind of like flying around me. This fight was one of the biggest I've done so far. And it is so wild how this stuff works. there's different weather effects that cause different things to happen. You can see the rain on the screen is making it harder to see. If it's super foggy, you can't see the ships you're actually firing at, just like their radar signatures and stuff.
Huh.
I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, it's got
It's
a
really
really cool look.
Mhm.
What do you even call the? It's hard to see in this because of all the fucking rain. But what do you call that art style behind it? Art?
It's
I don't-
steampunk.
Yeah,
It is
okay.
Dooney steampunk is
Sure.
what it is. It is very much a kind of like desert planet, futuristic. All the people wear like things in their nose that are attached to tubes, so it's very Dune in that
Dune, yeah.
regard. There's the native race of the planet all wear masks because they can't be exposed to air for too long. So like there's all sorts of like very influenced things in it from different kind of sci-fi genres, but they've all kind of like coagulated in this one world that they're projecting here.
Did that just say victory? 29 crew members died.
When you build out your ship, it all works on kind of a 2D. So if you put armor all around the outside, if they break through the armor, then they'll start hitting components on the inside of your ship. And as they do that, then it'll start like killing crew members.
Huh. Okay. Well, we'll check back. You're gonna play. You said you're playing more tonight.
I'm going to play
right?
it at least tonight and probably more in the future. Yeah.
Cool. We'll check back then next week to see if you have anything to add to that. Should we do Indie Days, Zeke? I'm looking at time.
Sure, if you want
You got a
to,
bunch
you
of
bet.
other games too. Bad Mojo, Nightblood.
Bad Mojo. Man, I played that game with my dad like 20 plus years ago. It was so cool seeing Zeke play it.
It's an
It was
oldie.
such a blast from the past.
Let's start with
Oh,
Bad
yeah.
Mojo then.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh,
All right.
It was so cool.
Let me find it.
Bad Mojo. Someone suggested this game. Now I have a game suggestions tab in my Discord. Hint if you want to suggest anything for me to play. But more often than not, it's for like indie games. People suggest for Indie Sunday, but it's also for like weird games that I may like, or may have missed growing up.
I don't like this game.
And this was one of them, and I looked at it and immediately went, "This is a game for me." And boy, it was a treat.
Are you a roach?
Yes, you are. You play as a roach.
I see.
The whole game. The whole game you play as a roach. The controls are very complicated though. Up, down, left, right.
That's it.
That's it. That's all of them.
The whole game.
Up,
right
down,
there.
left, right. No interact buttons whatsoever. You can escape to save the game or close it. But in the game, while you're playing, up, down, left, right. That's it. It's just a game about exploring, figuring out how to get from one place to the next as a roach, avoiding cat paws, slime stuff. If you get all the borders are covered with that kind of stuff.
Maple
It's
syrup.
different materials.
All over.
Yeah, it's different materials every time.
The
But
norm.
Yeah.
if you get caught in them too long and you struggle too long, the game kills you and you have to like restart from a checkpoint or whatever. So you want to avoid those. But you have to figure out how to make shit happen so you can accomplish your goals. Meaning if you want to say light a cigarette so you can start a fire and set off the smoke alarm, you have to figure out how to get that cigarette lit, how to get it on top of like some flammable material, like, I don't know, gasoline or paper or something like that. And then you have to make sure that the smoke alarm has batteries in it by jumping on the test button to see if it's, powered up, blah, blah, blah. So that's the gameplay. Here's where the fucking shitty frustration comes in. Because it's an old game. Tank controls. It's bad. Up is not up. Up is forward. Back down is back. So if you're facing down, you press up to go down. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how that works, right? So it left and right rotate you. And up and down, forward, reverse. That's what it is. Fucking takes a bit to get used to, but also the cockroach, like his hitbox is weird. I guess like sometimes you'll hit the goopy shit, sometimes you won't. And it's also like some photo environments, like they're just pictures made to look like you're in the game. and it's hard to find to see what paths you can go on, because it'll look like there's a path there and there's not. So that's old shit. That's old video game stuff, which I'm totally, I'm okay with that. But it does get frustrating trying to control this cockroach. Also,
only in video games. God, this cockroach just handles like shit.
Yeah. Man, it needs some fucking. Is there an upgrade? Like, can I get sticky tires, sticky legs on this goddamn roach or something? Maybe get some better cornering. Yeah. So if you look, there is a path down below the cockroach right now that has a splotch that you have to How do I get around that? You have to figure that out. Like, you have to push this, and that's the thing. There's only four controls, so it's only walking up to something, pushing it, that kind of shit. That's all you can do. A lot of times the trigger is just you being close enough to the thing. You'll get little cinematics with clues in them and stuff like that. There's shit you can miss in your game. Like, I had to go back and, or I didn't have to go back, but I could have totally missed something. Someone said, do you want to know if you missed something? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, tell me. Yeah, you missed something back there because you missed a whole other area because you didn't go to the other side. You don't have to do explore the whole game to finish it, basically. It helps because it gives you clues and stuff, but, and also, if you don't explore all the areas, you don't get the just top-notch community theater full motion video acting. It's good.
Of the roach or of humans?
1990. No, it's humans.
People.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not every time. Not every time is it humans.
Okay.
Sometimes, it's a rat talking to you or something like that.
I see.
But more often than not, you see a vignette of either clues to what you're supposed to do or pieces of the story that they don't really give you a lot to go on to start with. You start as a nerdy dude who has a suitcase full of cash, and your landlord is your typical fat balding where's the rent? I need the rent. And then you turn into a cockroach because things, and you find out that the landlord is a tragic fucking character. He had a wife, she passed away. He deals with depression and shit like that. It's fucking weird. You're wait a minute. You're throwing these serious fucking emotional issues at me in a fucking game where you play a cockroach? Are you serious? But then it's, some scenes are just fucking stupid, goofy, dumb 1990s acting. It's great. But it's weird. It's definitely it just like it looks on the box. It's very fucking weird. But we finished it. 4 endings. There's 4 different endings that you can get. You save. It's everybody dies, nobody dies, or some people die.
Spoilers.
Yeah, does
and
the
then go back and
cockroach
forth.
kill people? What are we talking about here?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
But yes.
All right.
The cockroach is a murderer. Straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up murderer if you want to be.
I don't know what happened in I looked up when this game came out. It was 1996, and the only reason I did is because in 1996 I went to see a movie called Joe's Apartment.
Yes,
enough,
welcome
also-
to Joe's apartment.
Exactly my thoughts.
Also about a cockroach, a group of cockroaches in Joe's apartment. So cockroaches were huge in 96, apparently. Who knew?
I like that movie.
Hate cockroaches. They're one of my foibles.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say phobia. I'm not afraid of them, but they're disgusting to
Do
me.
you get
They're just gross.
water bugs in Denver? Do you get water bug sized cockroaches?
No, we don't get not a lot of cockroaches, but I have seen water bugs, and I've eaten my fair share of water bugs for charity, and
Yes.
they are fucking huge and nasty.
Yeah, we got
They're
those
gross.
in Texas a lot growing up. Those were fun.
Yeah.
And by fun, I mean the worst. They were absolutely
But
fun.
yeah, if you want to buy this game, it's on Steam for $5.99. I would recommend that, you get some beers or fill your bowl up and toke away.
There you
Have a hoot laughing at this game.
Great. What about Nightbook? Because this is one you also mentioned that you
Yeah.
wanted to discuss. Is it? Did you only play this for like
Nightbook's
54 minutes? Is that the right VOD?
Yeah. Oh, it was on Indie Day, but I
Oh,
played a little
okay.
bit more of it. Yeah, I played it for looks like 4 hours ish, total. It's not a long game. It's by the same the publishers
FMV.
of Wales Interactive, publishers of Late Shift, Complex, Shapeshift Detective, that kind of stuff. Like they have an FMV library under their roof. This one kind of falls short, but I have to be a little forgiving of it because this game was made entirely in quarantine. And
Oh, wow.
you'll notice that there's two characters, the interpreter and her dad live in the same apartment, but they only live in the same apartment story wise. They actually filmed it apart from each other. So you hear like a banging on the door. That's not him really doing it. That's
Right.
you know, whatever. But I thought it was cool that they made this entirely apart in quarantine. The story is
Okay.
the acting is good, but it's for the acting to be really compelling, the story has to be, you know, a little bit compelling. And it's just kind of mediocre. Not a lot of length to it. I got to an ending in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I got to one of the endings. However, I will say there are apparently what was it, chat? Was it 12 endings, 15 endings? Something like that. I don't know how they packed that many endings in there, but yeah, 15 endings. And I think I saw 3 of them in 4 hours.
Okay.
But there is a mechanic you can skip scenes you've already seen if you want to just get to make different choices and stuff. But with what I saw, it didn't seem like 15 endings was possible, but maybe there's a whole shitload that I missed. That's very possible. There's a whole shitload I missed. They tell you how many scenes there are in the game. There's like 200 and some, and I saw like 60 of them, maybe. So there's probably some more length in there, but I just didn't feel like discovering it because it was just like, it was okay. It was no shapeshifting detective. It could have used a little Jinx. Could have used a little Inspector Jinx in there. I'm just saying.
Got it. The king of FMV, at least in 2021.
Yeah.
This game was $13. It's got a demo as well if you want to grab it on Steam. It's also on Switch. Funny enough, I guess if you want to play this on Switch. Would you recommend it as a handheld game? Does it matter? Oh, you want?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Okay.
The game it's reasonably priced though. It's $12.99 on Steam at least. So it's not breaking the bank or anything.
Yeah.
But I would say if you have to really like FMVs to get into this.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Just real quick, someone in chat reminded me about the Halo Tech Alpha and asked if it was any good.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
Hey, that's Halo. Let's move on.
Cool.
all right, next game.
Man, really?
No, and I mean that in all positive sentiment, but
Okay.
it was truly Halo. There was definitely that was a tech alpha through and through. They were very against calling it a beta and everything that they talked about that. But it was also kind of cool to see because they were pretty open about how that game is going and what their plans on it are. I feel like they are looking for all the feedback, and they're getting a lot of good feedback here for the Halo Infinite tech preview. I played it for about an hour on stream, and that was only because, at least on Friday, I think when this was playable, maybe it was Saturday, it was only bots. They only made it PvP on Sunday night for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. And I did play that off stream, and that was a lot of fun. A lot more fun than the bots. That said, I think that the fact that there are Halo bots now, like there's Halo AI, and they're pretty competitive. Rather, they put 3 different difficulties in the game. This was they're like Halo themed difficulties like Spartan, ODST, and Recruit or something like that. I think this is the easiest difficulty. They had the hardest one on Sunday right before they put in PvP. 3 different maps. All the maps were fun. My biggest complaint about the game is you'll see here when the character picks up speed, the screen kind of has a shake to it. And I fucking hate that. Like I got a little motion sick playing it.
Really?
And that toggle is in the game. It just wasn't necessarily working. And they, a lot of stuff wasn't working. They had a long list of things that, they were very upfront, said, hey, here's a giant list of known bugs for things that don't work in this game. Which is cool to see, right? Because I can't believe that it's a Halo game that they're being like that open with, and saying like, we know that there are things wrong, there are things that aren't working, but how's the game feel? How's it feel? At the base of it all. That's kind of what we're wanting you guys to come back and give us information on, as well as like just break our servers, right? Just break the fuck out of our servers.
I have to admit though, on that same vein you just said, it's also kind of amazing to think that we live in a day and age where they're putting out alphas of a Halo game.
Totally.
Instead of like actually just making the game and charging $60 for it. Like it's very rare to establish franchise like that. You get access this early.
Exactly.
Like such an incomplete form.
And I think there's 2 ways to look at that, right? Like, I think if you take like a positive spin on it, for me, it's like, I'm glad that they're doing that because it shows that they know that this game has to succeed, right? Like they have to get this right, or Halo in a lot of ways is not gonna go long when it comes to being an established IP. It hasn't really been like that giant flagship Microsoft IP for quite some time. But I think if you look at that negatively is the idea that like maybe they're not too confident in Halo anymore.
Yes. They're not only not confident, but there's been an extremely lukewarm reception to everything to the point where they knew that they maybe had to do something like this.
Right.
They couldn't just take a risk because that risk to them seemed like maybe people wouldn't like it enough to the fact where like we need to get ahead of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah. It's even wilder. The fact I still have to remind myself, and chat just did it for me. This is a free-to-play multiplayer game. The fact that Halo is a free-to-play or going to be a free-to-play multiplayer game is bananas to me. Like, what a weird. I never would have imagined that in the early 2000s, like covering Halo for MLG, that's where this game would end up. I think back then, like free-to-play had a different connotation to it, whereas these days, like, there's AAA games that are all free to play, and that's kind of common. But it was a weird experience overall, because it was all of those things in a Halo thing, and it's weird. But I had a great time with it, playing against bots on stream and playing against real people for the 30 minutes or so that I did off stream.
Just to be like super specific, it's free to play with Xbox Gold subscription or something like that, or is that not?
It's just free to play.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Okay.
So anyone can just download and play it, no strings.
The multiplayer, the multiplayer specifically, yes, yeah,
okay,
yeah. I think that was even a big deal that it's not going to require Xbox Live or whatever the equivalent is these days to play, and it's all cross-play as well. It's Xbox X, S, and PC can all kind of play with one another. That's obviously how they're going to monetize a lot of it, is by the different armor and the norm of free to play games these days. I think they also have like a double XP boost, but that's only for the battle pass, and the battle pass has like both free rewards for every level, but also if you have the battle pass, you get the paid rewards as well. So there's a little bit, it seems like as far as battle passes go, it seems like a very fair battle pass. And they're trying not to alienate people right out of the gate, with all that. Cause I think, it harkens back to the idea that like, there's so much riding on this, I think, for Microsoft and 4343 and Halo. So we will see. I think it's a good start. I definitely think that the video that they put out, whenever that was, like a year ago or so, this played fine and fun. And if this is the type of gameplay that we can expect for like the single player, then it'll be a fun experience. But also at the end of the day, if you've played a Halo game, hey, this is another Halo game with like some other small tweaks and things that if you've played a Halo game, you're going to notice that stuff. If not, it's going to be a little bit slower than like a COD, right? Like it's an arena 4v4 or they have bigger versions of it, but it's an arena shooter. It's not a Call of Duty or what Call of Duty is these days, or like an Apex or a BR or anything like that. It's very much of that era. So curious to see how that does once it launches. I think Halo has enough, like the Halo brand is big enough that it'll get people in. We'll see what happens if they're going to stick around after the fact. They might get a call and they might have to leave.
That's the segue. That's the segue alarm.
Yeah. That was actually Phil messaging Co to say, get JP to stop saying negative things about the game. Funny enough. So
wrap it up.
Let's move on. Zeke, you got so many games here.
I know. I play a lot of games.
I'm trying to figure out like what is okay. Indie Sunday, Last Stop, Summer of 58.
Okay.
The Chameleon, Quickly, Quackly.
Okay.
And that's it. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. Last Stop.
Let's talk about Last Stop. That's why I was like, why is that not on my Steam? It's on Game Pass. That's why.
Oh. Phil's back on board.
And you tune back in. Okay, Last Stop is a choose your own adventure game with a bunch of English people, and it's not terribly interesting. I'm just be honest with you.
I'm going to be listening, but pardon me 1 second. I got to make a quick call.
Go ahead. Yeah, do what you got to do, man. I don't know how long I played it for. How long is that VOD? Like an hour, maybe?
I think a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was about an hour and 4.
Yeah. I don't know if I was distracted or something, but it tried to be like some sort of mystery or something, and it wasn't very good. Let's just move on.
Okay. All right.
To the
Great.
next
That's Last
one.
Stop. It's on Game Pass if you want a not very good story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on Game Pass though. That's a positive.
Is out. He's done with this.
That's a positive.
Show.
Phil's back out again.
Summer of 58.
Now, Summer of 58. This game, this game had a lot going for it. It plays a little bit. Now, plays not the feeling, not the environment, but it plays a little bit like PT, that demo that everyone like remembers with Kojima and Guillermo.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that is because you start in this. It starts that way. You start in this very small area. Like you've got a hallway and like 2 rooms. And that's all you get to start with. So you're like walking around like, fuck man, there's not a lot here. And you walk and back and forth and you're like, wait a minute. Something changed? Oh yes, it did. Oh. Okay, and then you walk back to another room and like, wait, something else has changed. Something else is here that wasn't here before, or something is missing that was here. And that's how it starts. You're like, okay. Do that a little bit more, and then another room opens up. So you like when you start, it's just like exploring, looking around, news articles, stuff like that. Let me just read you the blurb. It says, in the summer of 2008, the main character, at the request of followers, goes to Russia to explore the abandoned camp Unost. Locals say that this place is inhabited by restless souls. This will need to be checked. That's probably translated from Russian, I'm guessing. That little blurb. But the gist of it is you're a ghost hunter. You're a YouTube personality, I think. Something like of that nature. You go there because that's your bag. You're a ghost hunter, YouTuber, content creator. So you go there, you set up your cameras, you stay there, you look around, and it has some of the most like very well placed and fucking terrifying jump scares. Jump scares have their place. don't write them off because I think they're necessary to like
Yeah.
for build up the tension, then break it with a jump scare.
Just
I
because
think
something's
as a
cheap
mechanic,
doesn't mean it's
okay.
bad. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you kind of like when I say they're well placed, it means when they happen, you're not ready for them.
Mm.
Like when you think you're gonna get one, you don't. It lulls you. And then you get another one, you fuck you, and you get mad. But then you get like determined to discover what's going on. And then you find out like some horrific fucking thing happened that I won't spoil. Horrific thing happened at this like camp for children. And you like discover this, you're like, oh dude, oh no, like this is why this place is haunted. This is why like there's spirits or whatever. You do have to like they give you some tasks like, oh, the light bulb broke, you have to fix it. So you go, that's how they move you into another room. That's how I move you along in the story, is that like, oh shit, a fuse, you got to go find a fuse, put the fuse in, turn the lights on, shit your pants, repeat. It's really well done. Atmosphere is like, I started playing, I was like, man, this is fucking boring, dude. There's like, oh wait, okay, I get what they're doing now. Back, forth, one little thing change, another little thing change, door opens up. Back, forth a couple times, another thing happens, another, like a jump scare, another, like, thing changes. And I love that. I love, one of my favorite things, and I've used the term quantum because that's what they called it in Outer Wilds. You turn around, and then you turn back, and something's there.
Right.
They use that shit very well in this game. So if you're in for like, you're not like diametrically opposed to jump scares, it's a great indie, and it's very well laid out. I liked it a lot.
You started out by mentioning PT with this. Does this feel like they played PT and were like, hey, we want to make one of those experiences?
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
All right.
It starts like that. But then it opens up and it becomes more of a discovery of what happened kind of a game. And they use light and dark very well. It's very immersive and it gets you like my hackles were up like the latter part of the hour and a half that I played it. Like I was just fucking tense, dude. It's really good. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know how long it is. I didn't finish it. But let's see, it's $8.99 on Steam, developed and published by Amiga Games.
Are you going back to it?
I might. I said like I might do a, like people do horror month in October and stuff.
Yeah.
It's gaming. I was thinking about doing it during December, so like horror for Christmas, like doing a month of scary games.
Yep.
Maybe.
The Chameleon. Well, I'm looking at this for about. I'm gonna let you. I don't want to discredit this game too quick.
The Chameleon is a
Island?
It's a charmer. It's purposefully retro graphics. It's a tense stealth game with superpowers set in the 70s, filled with glorious, and they say this, with glorious fat pixels. Transform into enemies, dash, teleport, slow time, and super punch your way through this moody retro stealth game. A
stealth game?
Yeah.
Okay, I generally don't put stealthy and super punch in the same sentence.
Okay. So the Chameleon, it's called the Chameleon because one of the first powers you get is the power to morph your skin or whatever into like that of a guard. So you get the idea like, okay, if I could do this and I'm like in this underground bunker, I'm the experiment in this underground laboratory bunker thing. And I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. Okay, so that's like the starting premise. Like, you know how like there's a lot of movies where it's like you're looking in on the humans and they don't know what the fuck's going on. This one you play as the experiment. It's great. Couple of really cool things about this is I love the fucking Tom Selleck look for no reason. They don't explain it. They don't ever explain it.
He's looking a little Max Payne-y.
Yeah, like a little GTA 3 Max Payne. But if you look at his face, he has the Selleck stash and the Hawaiian shirt, Magna PI. But one of the funniest fucking things is right out the gate you get a punch, and it's just like your one attack, but it like wrecks them across the room. It's just like badoosh, and they go woo. Fucking it's hysterical because you don't see it coming. You're just like, okay, I got a punch, boom, and it's like you knock his skeleton like out of his body, or you would. I think I'll do it here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was skimming the VOD.
And off he goes. He's gone.
Huh.
But yeah, and then the sound effects, like, you go. That's when the color drains out of you. That means you have to wait and get your power back up because punching takes away all your energy. So you have to time your punch. You can't punch one after the other. You get one punch, and it's a good punch. But if there's another enemy, you can't punch him too. And this is like you morph into one of the workers to try and like fool them, and you sneak by them and stuff like that. And you try to discover ways to get out. There's little consoles that you like. Oh, you press this button, it opens a door in that room way across the map and stuff like that. There's consoles that give you more, or pickups that give you more energy, so you can run longer. You can be a chameleon longer because everything is based on this one energy bar. And punch takes it all the way up. So you better punch wisely. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to chameleon. You're not going to be able to run. Nothing. So it controls fine. One thing I will say, boy, does the fucking camera suck ass.
It's close.
A third-person camera that doesn't go through the wall or a box. So if you're standing and you want to look this way, if a box is behind you, you're looking at the fucking box and nothing else. And that was just like fucking weird choice, dude. Like, why would you do that? Like I get like Dark Souls cameras, like third person action. The cameras are always kind of like they can fuck you at times. This one's just bad if you're against a barrier or something. It's just really bad. But it's a fun, action-y, weird, purposefully retro-looking game. I dug it. It's $9.99, so it's appropriately priced. Developed and published by Merlino Games, Merlino, Merlino Games.
Cool. Last but not least, I think, Quackly. Quickly Quackly. Quackly. There's no itty.
Quickly Quackly.
There you go. I was
not a lot to say about this game. It's just it's a collection of platforming levels with what is it called? The ZX Spectrum. It's an homage
just
to
like
that.
Super Meat Boy.
A little bit.
It's an homage to the ZX Spectrum console as far as the aesthetic look of it. And don't worry, if you go a little bit further in the video, there you go. You can turn the spikes off or turn the
flashing,
the glowy, flashy stuff off. So that is customizable if you don't like it.
Oh, that timer's counting down. I see.
13 seconds for every level. You get 13 seconds to beat every level. And they're laid out so that, like, you know, your first time through, if you make it, it's going to be pretty close. Like, the timer's going to be pretty close. I mean, after the first few levels, the tutorial levels. But, yeah, I actually, it's not a terribly long game. I played 2.5 hours and got through all the levels. But like I said, the level's only 13 seconds. You'll die a whole bunch until you figure out, like, how to do it. But, yeah, it's a lot like Meat Boy. The biggest difference is that there's a mid-air dash, kind of like Celeste. But yeah, it's a fun game. $5, couple hours. Dig it. I mean, you could probably find the similar games on like back in the day on like Newgrounds or those kind of size of Flash games. probably find something similar like that, but you know, I enjoyed it.
Eldest Souls. I've seen this actually. I forgot who was playing this, but I heard good things. Do you have good things to say about Eldest Souls?
I do. And people are going to be like, oh no, he's This was one of those games where I got to a boss. It's a boss rush game. Excuse me. It's a boss rush game. Like, I think a la like Fury. Kind of like that, where it's just like boss after boss. This boss, I spent most of the 2.5 hours. I probably spent an hour and a half on this boss because I probably went to it too early, and I felt really, really bad because I get stubborn and frustrated, and I won't leave.
Oh, so you're a streamer?
Yeah. And there were one of the devs, Fallen Flag Studio. One of the devs was in the chat like before this, and he was like, "Hey, so thanks for playing our game." Like, "Oh, cool, yeah, thank you. I just beat this guy. I'm gonna go on this guy." And then I got to this guy, and I didn't hear from him again. Like, I'm guessing they pieced out. But it's just because like I probably was way under leveled for this. Like, you don't have to go to this one. It's not necessarily linear. Is what they said and what I thought anyway. Like, this guy seemed like a little bit OP for my build at the moment. So I should have left. I should have gotten my ass kicked like 2 or 3 times and went, this probably, I can kill him. Kind of like the whatever demon at the beginning of one of the Dark Souls games. Like, you can kill him, but there's a cinematic when you die. You're expected to die.
Zeke, if you would have left this fight, then you would have had to quit streaming.
That's true. It's part of the
You're
contract.
right. I would have been done streaming.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not just on
You're right
here
about
as
that.
well. Yeah. On Twitch.
But I mean, the game in and of itself, the mechanics are really cool. It encourages you to get in there and like mix it up, because in order to like charge your stuff, like charge your power moves, get your health back, it's a little bit like Bloodborne. If you get hit, you charge in there, and there's a meter that goes up, a timer meter that goes up, and as long as that meter's up and you're hitting, you'll get chunks of health back. So you'll get hit, like your health will go down, like, oh shit, I got to get in there, hack, get some health back out again, rinse, repeat, stuff like that. Really cool mechanic, very well laid out, not customizable, but reallocation of your skills is a free thing. You don't have to pay for it.
It's good stuff.
So if you want to move your skill tree around, you don't like how it's working, you can change it on the fly. That's great. I like that. But yeah, you get, after beating bosses, you get like different shards to put in your like thing. Like, this shard will give you more health when you do your health slashy thing. This one will make your regular attack more powerful and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of customizability. You don't get to choose weapons because the whole like basis of the story is like you have this huge obsidian sword, and it's the only thing that can kill these things. So the weapon doesn't change, but how you use it does. So it's really cool. A little bit like, I don't know how I feel about the darkness around the edges of like, look at the screen. Like, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a name for that, but I forgot.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Sometimes I'm okay with it, sometimes not. It didn't bother me a whole bunch.
Yes. Yeah. Vignette.
Yeah. It didn't bother me a whole bunch, but it definitely were times I'm like, I want to see what's over there, and I can't because there's a barrier here, and it's in darkness. It's fogged up. But yeah, I didn't get very far. I think I beat 2 bosses and then came against this guy and just got really stubborn and rage quit, went to break, and then switched games. But by no means this is a bad game. It's really good.
Cool. What does Eldest Souls run?
It's priced at $19.99, but it's on sale right now for $16.99 on Steam. It is developed by Fallen Flag Studios and published by United Label and CI Games.
Got it. We talked about Lifeline. We got 10 minutes. You want Horror Tales the Wine or Banner of Ruin?
Do Horror Tales, because Co's playing it too.
Oh, I've heard that one too.
Oh, okay. How was Horrors of Wine the Tales? I think that's right. How is this? What is this? What am I looking at here? Bueller?
Go ahead, Zeke.
Oh, I thought we were Co's taking my turn. Co's taken away. Anyway.
Okay, so this is basically, it's a walking sim is the short answer. You walk around and you solve some basic puzzles, and you're kind of learning about this world. The premise is that you arrive in, I believe it's Italy, to a winery, and there's this crazy fever that's ravaging the world, and your family is sick.
It's not good.
And you have heard that there is a wine in this city, and that if you get this wine, you just need one bottle. You can go back and save your family, and kind of go from there. And as you explore the city, you quickly realize that it is not just going to be a matter of picking up a wine bottle and leaving, and that pretty much every single person here is dead or something has happened to them. And you start the process of walking through this actually very pretty environment, figuring out what the hell is going on and trying not to die.
Speaking of like last game, talking about scares, there's definitely really good moments in this one.
Huh.
Really good moments. Like I think there's a clip.
Do they run out of wine?
Yes.
Oh,
You ever
shit.
seen drunks run out of wine? Like
I know.
you
It's terrible.
you ever been to like a brunch with a bunch of divorced women? Like I have.
All the time.
You run out of wine.
That's Thursday morning.
It's bad news. Like the devil is afraid of that shit. Fuck, now I forgot what I was gonna say. God damn it.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm already scatterbrained as it is, and then you throw this curveball at me, JP, and now I can't remember where I was.
You're talking about it being scary.
Oh, that's right. There's a clip out there of me like jumping back so quickly that my headphones go woo.
Really?
Like they flew off my, because I went bullshit. And then that's what they
Code, did you encounter the same jump scares?
Oh yeah.
okay.
This game is like built around some jump scares. Absolutely.
Okay.
There are some elements that are purely designed to completely have that happen to you. Yes. It's pretty jump scare centric at times. Not the entire time. It's not just constant jump scares. And this is very Euclidean game, kind of like what Zeke was talking about earlier, where if you're looking at something and then you kind of look away and look back, it's different. There is a lot of that in this game, and it's actually done really well in some cases. There's some really cool stuff that goes on. But yeah, it is a horror game with light puzzle elements, and it's a walking simulator with horror elements and light puzzle elements.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep. I'm curious. How long did it take you to get to an ending? I guess I don't know.
I got to the ending. I don't think there's. I think there's only one ending, and I think it took about 3 hours.
Okay,
Not long.
cool. Because I'm gonna restart it this afternoon because I wanted to finish it because it's intriguing enough and well done enough that I would like to see how it concludes.
Cool.
That's a devil's candle right there.
Yeah, and this, I don't know what those are. I don't want to know, but
I can tell you.
I don't want to know.
But it's a guess.
You're guessing? You don't know for sure?
Yes, I'm guessing.
Okay.
It
looks like a collectible.
You have to unlock photo mode in this game.
That's what I said. There's like these little like camera symbols.
Yeah, I think that you take pictures of them, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because every single one of those I came across, a couple of them I really looked and I could not find a way to get them. So the only thing I could think of is either you have to like throw something at them or take a picture of them, but I really don't know.
You saw the like spray paint outline of a rudimentary like camera?
There's some weird stuff.
I saw those and I was like photo mode, and I remember the menu was like you have to unlock photo mode. I was like, say what now? That's some meta shit.
Huh.
Anyway,
okay.
Yeah, I'll be playing it this afternoon if you want to check me out.
Yeah, and it specifically says not only do you have to unlock photo mode, it specifically says you have to beat the game to unlock photo mode. So I'm thinking that's like their new game plus kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, be careful.
I might play through it twice, baby.
Oh yeah,
I definitely thought like I was playing it on Epic, and I was like, oh, maybe we have to take a screenshot of it, right? I'm thinking totally meta. So I start hitting some of the F keys, like F10, F12, F11 or something, end up blue screening my computer. So don't try that. Don't try that.
3090 couldn't handle it.
3080.
Oh, 3080.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I actually have that clip on our new Reddit, Game Stream Fails.
There you go. Banners, Rooney, what you got? It's card game. Good, bad. What do you think here?
I wasn't in the mood.
All right, that's Banner.
No, it wasn't the right time for me to check that game out because I wanted to relax, and that game had a lot of ins and outs. It's a card game deck builder, so there's like you got to read every card, and I'm like, nope, can't brain. So I decided to end the day by playing some blackjack.
There you go. Well, let's call the show then.
I ended up down. I didn't lose all my money, but I ended up down from what I started.
I'm just browsing with this here. Good job, JP. Trying to see if there was anything else. Painted some Warhammer figures. Funny enough, Erin's the one that got addicted to that, not me. She is.
I
all
saw
about
those.
That. Yeah.
I remember I used to paint, man. That was pretty zen.
She spent 7 hours last night just painting. More power.
It looks like I was wrong. It wasn't Game Workshop, was it?
It was. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was for.
Okay, I saw you tagging somebody else.
It was for the Warhammer Age of Sigmar brand. So it's cool. We were never going to play in a 2-hour stream. That was one of the weirdest things because, like, I think painting a single thing took 4. So
yeah,
aren't those armies like hundreds sometimes?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot. Yes. The Warhammer is, from my estimation, Warhammer is less about playing the game and more about making an army yours and then thinking about playing the game and then just buying more models and painting those and then thinking about, and then just buying more models and painting those. And then maybe just buying some more models and also painting those as well. I think is how that goes. But it's cool.
Some of the funnest stuff about those for me was discovering, like, you know how when you watch Bob Ross and you're like,
yeah,
you see the finished product, but then you see how he made it. Like, there's like little tricks.
Oh yeah.
So like painting stuff, like discovering those like tricks. Like one of the first tricks I discovered was like there's a certain metal paint, and it's called dry brushing.
Yep. Oh
and
yeah.
You dry brush it, and it just comes out looking fucking phenomenal the first time. You're like, what the fuck? Like that was some of my favorite shit when I was painting minis.
Yeah. There's a lot for sure. It's cool. I understand why people get addicted to that, and there is something like, I think Zen is a perfect way to discuss or describe the idea of painting that stuff. And then the other thing I'm playing and hopelessly still addicted to is Guilty Gear. I think I put about 4 hours a day into Guilty Gear, and I'm it's got me bad. Kind of like
what's got me bad, JP?
It's the Overwatch of 2021 for me, for sure. What's that?
You know what's got me bad? I finally went back. I've been telling myself for a year.
Yeah.
Gotta go back. Picked up Hades again.
Dude, I was thinking about playing that as well off stream.
Fucking amazing game.
It's coming to Game Pass at the end of this month.
It would definitely have been on my top 5, at least, if not top 3 of last year.
Yeah.
Man, that game is good.
It's good, man.
Speaking of minis,
it's a hell of
I had this made. I had a cool thing made for my D&D campaign.
Nice.
Someone made the art for it.
That's awesome.
And made it. I had it made and bought in Hero Forge or whatever.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway.
Let's do some shout outs. Call it a show. Zeke, you want to start us off?
Sounds good. You bet. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at / Ezekiel_III. That's on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. But I'm also Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out, on TikTok and Instagram. If you like little 1-minute snippet videos, that's where you go to find those. I will be broadcasting here in about an hour, maybe, give or take, playing the where the scares taste like puzzles and wine. Whatever the game is called. Horror Tales the Wine, I think is what it is, right? Yeah. I'll be playing that in about an hour. Jump back into that. And then tomorrow, starting 10 a.m. Pacific, as always, I'm going to be diving into a brand new game for me called Shadow of Destiny.
Oh, that looks
It's a
bad.
fucking weird Konami game from, what is it, 2002. I got it new in the cellophane. I got it on PC. So we're going to be jumping into that tomorrow. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Co. Thanks, JP.
Cool.
At least I forget.
Co, do some shout outs and tell us more about your new Reddit.
Oh yeah, for sure. So first of all, thanks JP and Zeke. Second of all, we started a new Reddit. It is Game Stream Fails. You can also go to gamestreamfails.tv. It is a complete exploratory venture that is basically an attempt to revive just the funny game clips from back in the day. There's a very popular site called Livestream Fails, and used Livestream Fail, and it used to be basically what Game Stream Fails is, where it was just streamers playing games, funny clips, no drama, no IRL, nothing, just funny people or funny things happening in games. And that's what Game Stream Fails is. It's only been up for a few days, but there's already like 1,000 people in there. There's actually some really funny clips. So if you do see any clips from any streamer anywhere and it just made you laugh, we'd love to see it posted on there. And we'll see if it goes anywhere. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it does, then awesome. Also, we're looking for mods on it, so feel free to apply to be a mod if you have any modding experience. And that's really about it. Anyway, my name is Ko. Hi, I'm going to be playing more of the Forgotten City tomorrow. Maybe talking about Death Trash soon. We're going to be returning to the Final Fantasy XIV main story. We also have HighFleet in the Cozy Evenings. We're going to be doing more of that tonight. Starting a new game, so if you want to check out HighFleet from the beginning, we're going to be starting that in probably about 2.5, 3 hours tonight. And that's really about it. So, yeah, see you guys next week.
Cool. That's that. What comes out? There's really nothing between now and let me look at the upcoming. What do we got this next week?
Big thing for me, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, September 2nd.
Oh, okay.
Less than a month away. Oh my God. I am so insanely excited.
People are talking Death Trash.
Yeah.
Death Trash early access comes out tomorrow. And I did check with the devs. The Death Trash early access tomorrow is like, they said it's like 5-ish hours. So it is much more than the demo. So if you are interested in checking out Death Trash, definitely, yeah, I'm going to be checking it out. And if you liked it, you probably want to do the same.
I think I'm going to wait on it. Gonna give that a little breathing room before it's, see what people saying.
Cool.
Like
I think tomorrow I'm checking out is tomorrow or Friday for the Back for Blood open beta thing that they're running. Some sort of
Let me know
beta.
if you have a spot.
Yeah. I'm sure we will. If you want to jump in.
Do that maybe someday altogether.
Huh?
Dude,
when does it run? If it's running next Wednesday, we could do that. There's not gonna be.
I am totally down for that. I would love to. We can bring in a guest like Strippin or someone and do a whole like thing.
Yeah. We'll talk. I think it's running through next week. I don't know the dates on it. I know the open beta is the 12th through the 16th, but that's next Thursday. So maybe it's closed beta till then. I don't know. I'll figure it out. We'll talk in Slack and see how we go from there. So
David says, do you have a spot announced for the Battlefield 2042 playtest? Excuse me? The what now? Who went?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess not, if it's private.
I don't know what that is.
Freaking call me, Battlefield, guys. Jesus.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shoot.
Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back next week. I'm not going to fucking break an NDA. I'm not doing that
big
shit.
whale arm.
I didn't know it was NDA. Yeah, I have no idea. I clearly have not received said invite. So, yeah, I will. Oh, wait. Oh, it's under NDA, no streaming. The first Battlefield 2042 technical playtest starts August 12th. The players will be under NDA, an early test and a vow of silence. Okay. So, no, I won't be doing it. And I guess no streamer will.
See you next week, guys. Thanks for watching.
Oh, damn.
I'll be playing old games that are definitely not under any sort of contract. Let's go.
I'm not getting screwed out of this. We'll be back next week with more Drop Frames, maybe a Drop Frames games of Back for Blood. We'll see. We'll let you guys know. Keep an eye on our Twitter, twitter.com/Drop Frames. We're out, though. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.